And you have even memorized pi r squared. Okay? Well, pi r squared, but p looked like this in Greek, in Koine Greek anyway. And so the letter we're looking at here, this in the lowercase form here, is what's called a P. Now, it doesn't look like a P in English, and that is also something that's going to be a little tricky. Also, you'll find that some of the forms you're looking at, as you read particular words, some fonts will have this very rude, very crude, not rude, very crude, one simple horizontal line and two vertical lines without the fancy dancy hooks and tails like this particular font has. Your workbook has a slightly less fancy form. This is the letter P. Now, also though, you're going to be confused. I guarantee you you're going to be confused when you look at this. This is not the letter P. So you have to train yourself into looking at that and saying that is a rho. And if you want to pronounce it pro, you can, H-R-O, all right? It happens to be the only, well, I'm not going to go into that, well, maybe a little later. The letter rho is in its capital form. It looks like this. In its lowercase form, it looks like this. Notice that it will be going then to the middle of the line. And this is the R sound, as in rhyme or rat. This is the Koine Greek letter rho. This strange creature is a sigma. It's the corresponding to the capital letter S in English. And you'll find it written in various different ways. And this one accents the diagonal lines. Doesn't look very much like an S in this form, nor does the normal lowercase form help us much, because that looks like this. This is also a sigma. This is the lowercase form of the sigma. The only thing that helps is if the letter actually shows up at the end of a word, it has a separate form, and that's this. This is what's called the final sigma. If the sigma is the final letter in your word, it's going to look like this. And that is why in the word for word in Koine Greek, logos, you have this final sigma. Because it's the final letter in the word, it will appear like this. The sound is still the same. And you'll also notice, okay, we've seen these letters already. This is a lambda. This is an omicron. This is a gamma. This is an omicron. And then the final sigma. So that's why this, of all of the letters, has a separate form if it appears at the end of a word. Next is the tau. The tau corresponds to our English letter T, and it has the same sound. The capital form looks very much like the letter T. The lowercase form is an iota with a horizontal bar at the top. Basically, that's what it is. It will always have a hook. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. In whatever font, all the fonts that I've ever seen for Greek, the lowercase tau has a loop or a hook or a tail, whatever you want to call it. They may not always be as pronounced as this one. You'll be surprised as well that this is also not a letter Y or anything like it. This is an upsilon. Upsilon is a vowel, and it corresponds to mostly to our English letter U. And so when you see this in the capitalized form, this is the U sound, or it may sometimes be the U sound. Those are two possible sounds that a upsilon can make. It is not it is not upsilon, it's upsilon. So it doesn't have that lower, or that, I'm thinking in English now, it doesn't have the English.
Up, but it's put.
Right. It doesn't have the, okay. Anyway, it has only one, the possible, or two of the possible sounds that you can make. Lowercase looks more familiar. And again, this tail or loop is optional, but there will be this curvature for the lowercase upsilon. Next is the letter phi. This corresponds to our English F. It is one large vertical line and a circle. You know, remember we saw a theta was the opposite. It had a circle with a horizontal line. This is a phi. And the vertical line will always be transverse or go across the circle. And lowercase looks similar. The vertical line and the circle. Now, in some fonts that I've seen, some writings, the vertical